Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic. And this week, we are heading to Pioneer to see if we can emerge with some victories with the help of Deep-Fiend and Distended Mindbender in a Sultai-Emerge deck. So let's talk about this super sweet deck, jump into some games and see it in action. All right, so here is our Sultai-Emerge deck for Pioneer, and this deck's pretty sweet. As you can see, 92 bucks of paper, 20 ticks on Magic Online, and the goal of this deck is pretty straightforward. We are trying to emerge Distended Mindbender or Deep-Fiend into play as quickly as possible. When we get our good draws, we can do it around turn 3, and then hopefully we can just chain those together, get massive creatures, kind of tempo our opponent out of the game and win. So step 1, Mana Dorks on turn 1. Elvish, Mystic, Llanowar Elves, they get us to our 3 drops on turn number 2, and 3 is kind of the magical number with this deck. Both of our big emerge threats, if we emerge them, it's 7 mana minus the mana value of the thing we sacrifice, which means if we sack a 3-drop, we can cast them for 4 mana, which means Mana Dork on turn 1, 3-drop on turn 2, emerge on turn 3. That's the main goal of the deck. As far as our 3-drops in specific, Fierce Empath, really good because it can tutor up our Deep-Fiend, it can tutor up our Distended Mindbender. Biolume Egg is a sneaky all-star in this deck for a couple of reasons. First, if we sacrifice it, it's 0 power front side, it flips into a 4/4, so we can emerge off of it and get a 4/4 for free. The other trick is, thanks to a rules change a few years ago now, its backside is still 3 mana value, even though it doesn't have any mana value printed on it. So what this means is we can emerge off the Biolume Egg, get the 4/4, and then maybe the next turn we can emerge off that, sack it as another 3 mana value creature, so we can merge off it 2 times, which is really powerful. And then Elvish Rejuvenator just helps us fix our mana, which is one of the concerns of this deck. The mana is a bit clunky. Then we have our big payoffs. This is what we're working towards: Deep-Fiend and Distended Mindbender. These cards are actually kind of absurd. They're super expensive if you hardcast them, but thanks to Emerge and all these 3-drops, we can be getting them into play as early as turn 3. And a turn 3 Deep-Fiend, turn 3 Distended Mindbender is a really big game in a format like Pioneer. Deep-Fiend, usually the best of the bunch. When we cast it, we get to tap down 4 of our opponent's permanents, and it has flash. So the trick is we cast this on our opponent's upkeep, tap down all their lands. It kind of turns into an extra turn spell almost. Our opponent, sure, they can make their land drop, they get to draw a card for a turn, but they're not going to be able to do anything because they aren't going to have any mana. And if we can chain these together, we can't just straight up win the game. Distended Mindbender, kind of a double thought seize. It's at least one thought seize, but if we can get a cheap card and an expensive card, we can get rid of 2 cards, and it's a 5/5, so also a reasonable threat. The other key piece of this is Sanctum of Ugin. Sanctum of Ugin, when we cast a colorless spell, mana value 7 or greater, we can sack it and tutor up a colorless creature. So both Deep-Fiend and Distended Mindbender are colorless creatures, mana value 7 or greater. So this is our easiest way to just chain these cards together. We emerge Deep-Fiend, we sack a Sanctum of Ugin, we get another Deep-Fiend to time walk our opponent again the next turn. Otherwise, we got some removal, Fatal Push, Replicate for the early game. Colossal Sky Turtle is actually kind of hilariously good in this deck. We can tutor it up with Fierce Empath, so it's a tutorable removal spell. We can use it to bounce something, we can cast it sometimes, and we can use it to get back the stuff that we sacrifice so we can emerge off it again in the future. Mana base, the clunkiest part of the deck. It's fine, but we are 3 colors on a budget. Our lands are either tapped, like Opulent Palace, painful, like Llanowar Waste and Yavimaya Coast, or pathways, which leaves us making some tough decisions. Hilariously, even though our big payoffs, our emerge creatures are colorless, to emerge them, they're double blue or double black, so occasionally we do have a little bit of trouble with that. As far as the sideboard, bunch of discard for control, some graveyard hate to fight against graveyard decks, Damping Sphere for combo, bunch of removal for creature decks, and that is Sultai-Emerge for Pioneer. That's our Budget Magic deck for this week, so let's jump into some games and see if we can emerge our way to victory. Is Biolume Egg the secret to success in the Pioneer format? Let's find out. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit with a wrap-up. Looking to pick up some sweet Double Masters 2022 reprints while prices are cheap? Well, you can snag them all from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, by heading over to cardkingdom.com/MTGGoldfish. Budget Magic time. We are pioneering this week with Sultai-Emerge, and we're gonna try this. Our mana's good. We need some things to emerge off of, but I mean, we got a bunch of 3-drops. We really just want to hit a 3-drop. If we can hit a 3-drop and go Llanowar 3-drop emerge, then we're in pretty good shape. That's kind of the whole idea of the deck, but we'll see. We could also just draw a bunch of useless lands and cry. That's always a possibility, but yeah, we're gonna try this. See what our opponent's up to. All right, looks like control perhaps. Well, there's the Biolume Egg, Llanowar Wastes, and Llanowar Elves combo, flavor combo, go. Okay, I mean, that's what we wanted to see. This does, I mean, we'll see if we can resolve our stuff, but in theory, this sets us up to do our thing. Ledger Shredder. Well, I mean, I think that gets to live, unfortunately. We're going to play Yavimaya Coast and run out a egg. And this sets us up to Mindbend next turn. And we get to scry. Ooh, okay, interesting. Sanctum of moving to the bottom. I think we keep the Sky Turtle. We can Sky Turtle back the egg and do it again. No one expects to buy a Biolume Egg, that's for sure. At some point, we're gonna have to Fatal Push this Ledger Shredder. But for now, I think we're happy to bend some minds. Ugh, another Ledger Shredder, okay. Well, that's awkward. Delver of Secrets does some conniving. Yep. Growing the dorks. I mean, we're gonna have a good turn. Well, another Ledger Shredder. We'll see if it's enough. Opponent gets and hits us. Sure. So we untap. We play the land on black. Our mana base is killing us a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Emerge. A Mindbender. Sack the egg. Target you. So the egg will come back. We get to do some thought seizing. I mean, I guess we just take March of Otherworldly Light. No big things to take. We get a 5/5, and then we'll get a 4/4, and well, the race is on. We got a turtle. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. It's pretty cute. One of the neatest synergies of this deck, that's a relatively new synergy, is because of how the rules work for flip cards now. Biolume Egg is essentially 2 emerge targets in one. We can play it, we can sack it. Opponent's gonna connive away some counters. We play it, we sack it, then we get it back, and we still have a 3-mana creature. So if we want to, we can just Distended Mindbender again and get rid of something else. We are going to need to start killing Ledger Shredders, though. Those are an issue. Wouldn't mind finding an actual removal spell. Opponent considers. We got a clock, but is it enough of a clock? Opponent gonna get in and hit us for 6. Well, the race is on. We take 6. Down to 9. Opponent passes. Opulent Palace. How do we maximize our chances of not dying? Step 1. Kill Ledger Shredder. Wow, our opponent drew into God's Willing. Okay, might mean we're dead. That is a pretty incredible top deck for our opponent. Yeah, that is very, very unfortunate for us. Probably deadly. All right, so opponent does not lose Ledger Shredder. We'll play Opulent Palace. We'll go to combat. We'll hit our opponent for 5 for 9. Yeah, but that God's Willing is probably going to save our opponent, and they get to scry to try to flip the Delver, which they do with another Dovin's Veto. All right, so things are coming up in our opponent's favor here. Opponent goes attacking. We will bounce a Ledger Shredder. Oh, yeah, that God's Willing is going to win our opponent this game. Opponent hits us down to 2, and now there's not a way for us to do this now. Oh my goodness. Fierce Empath. Actually, oh no. Okay, Yavimaya Coast. This might actually let us do it. 1, 2, 3. Oh, it doesn't. We're a mana short. So close. We needed 1 more mana, and we could. Okay, we can do it. We just got to sack the Mindbender. So 1, 2, 3. Fierce Empath. Opponent's got a handful of vetoes. Empath can tutor up a Elder Deep-Fiend. We go to combat. We do some smashing of our opponent. Attack. Opponent's going to block. Go to 7. Now we stop on our opponent's upkeep. Oh, wow, I think we got there. Hopefully. I mean, I guess I could have another God's Willing. So we go to 1. We emerge, sacking the Mindbender. Tap. All right, that keeps us alive for now. They could still play a blocker and live at 1. Oh my goodness. Okay. So now our opponent is back to winning unless we top deck. We need a removal spell. Yeah, and that does it. Our opponent can chump and go to 1. What a close game. There's nothing we can do, right? We attack with everything, block here, go to 1. This doesn't help. Wow, that was really close. That turn where opponent top decked the God's Willing, that was big. That was really, really big. That actually was just the game. That swung the whole game. Wow, 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 wow. I thought we had it. We can bring in Legion's End, seems good. Infernal Grasp. Our mana base also hurt a bit there. Maybe a couple Duresses. Go down a Rejuvenator. Go down a Sky Turtle, go down a Llanowar and a Llanowar. Run it like that. Oh, so close. Well, this hand is pretty light on threats, but we can try to disrupt our opponent a bit, I guess. Opulent Palace, go. Blaze a blue mana and a Delver of Secrets. Delver of Secrets isn't not a very good card anymore. Not in Pioneer at least. Well, let's duress our opponent. Fading Hope, Clarion Spirit, and a Opt. Take the Opt. Yeah, I think we let it go. I think we actually need to... Let's just duress again, take the Fading Hope. I think we need to kill the Clarion Spirit. Does our opponent get the blind flip? Yes, of course. Homestead Courage, Hallowed Fountain, Clarion Spirit. Opponent gets in, hits us. Sure. Well, play off Maya Coast. Fatal Push the Delver, spend some life, Abrupt Decay Clarion Spirit, pass the turn. Opponent, Ops. Well, we've dealt with the board. Now we would like to get Elder Deep-Fiends going. Hallowed Fountain untapped. Opponent, oh boy. Well, that is probably the best thing they could have found. We will play a Fierce Empath, tutor up Elder Deep-Fiend. Pathway on black pass the turn. Well, okay, that's very good for our opponent. The Ledger Shredder is a very strong card, especially with this Homestead Courage. Homestead Courage, counters, and flashes it back, loots. So we basically get to time walk our opponent with this Elder Deep-Fiend, although whether or not well, we'll see. Opponent gets and hits us down to 11. Would have been nice if our opponent hadn't found that Ledger Shredder, that's for sure. We draw an Elder Deep-Fiend while stop on our opponent's upkeep and pass the turn. Upkeep, Elder Deep-Fiend, emerge it. Tap ya out. 3 Elder Deep-Fiend's pretty good. Opponent gonna flow some mana. Like, we can chain these together for 3 turns, which actually puts us 1 point of damage short of winning again, potentially. Oh my god. All right. Top deck the counter. Well, okay. Fatal Push. Kill the Ledger Shredder. Hi. That makes our life a ton worse. I mean, that's the power of getting to draw multiple cards every turn, is if you draw multiple cards every turn, you're gonna find the good ones sooner rather than later. Opponent passes. Fierce Empath. Well, we will play a Fierce Empath. Resolves. We will get a Elder Deep-Fiend. Actually, maybe we take the Sky Turtle here. So a Sky Turtle, 2 mana, get back something, like a removal spell. Or we can just keep taking Deep-Fiends and go back on that plan. That's the other possibility. Let's take a Elder Deep-Fiend. Pass the turn. Ops. Well, let's see if our opponent gets a Blind Delver flip again. So far, they've been 100% to Blind Flip Delver. And considers that Mystical Dispute. Delver, do you have the luck? Not this time. I mean, you'd think our opponent would have to draw land eventually. Luminarch Aspirant, okay. I mean, if you're gonna whiff, I guess that's pretty good. So opponent gets to put counters on things, gets and hits us, down to 8. We're still a point of damage away from winning, which is really awkward. Yav Maya Coast. Well, pass the turn. Stop on our opponent's upkeep. No attacks. Upkeep. See what Delver reveals. Nothing. Well, okay. Elder Deep-Fiend, sack the Empath. Tap. All right, tap him down for now. Ether Hub, okay. Opponent. Counter on the Delver. Passes. Well, go to combat. Attack ya. Egg is a pretty good draw. Hit our opponent down to 11. Play an Egg. Do some scrying. Egg is actually probably our best draw here. Do we want either of these? I think we keep the Empath. Let's keep the Empath. The rest go to the bottom. On our opponent's upkeep, we can Elder Deep-Fiend. See what Delver does. No flipping. Well, 1, 2, Elder Deep-Fiend. Second Elder Deep-Fiend. Tap, 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 tap. Opponent. All right, gets tapped down. I mean, we might be able to chain this together. Opponent plays a tap land. Counter on Delver. Passes. So now we go to combat. Elder Deep-Fiend. Hit ya. Opponent takes it. Stop on our opponent's upkeep. We do gotta raise our own mana base a little bit. Delver. Does it flip? Opponents ran out of Delver luck. Now this Delver won't flip to save our opponent's life. Elder Deep-Fiend, sack the egg. Tap, tap. We'll just keep doing this for a while. Is it enough? So the egg is gonna come back, tap 2 lands, tap the creatures, presenting lethal. And if we have to, we can Fierce Empath up a turtle to bounce a blocker if we're desperate. Opponent plays Delver. Counter on Luminarchus Pirate. I mean, I think this should work. So egg comes back. We get a free 4/4. This is kind of how we drew it up, honestly. And opponent scoops it up. Oh, okay. That's what the deck wants to do. Tap them out, egg up, tap them out. And that worked pretty much perfectly that game. Okay, that was very good. That was very, very good. Even through the Mystical Dispute, that timely Mystical Dispute, that made it take a lot longer, but we still got there. I honestly am wondering if we should add one more Biolume Egg. That might just be better than Rejuvenator. The egg is really nice. You know what? I think we keep this. The 2 Fatal Pushes are nice. We get a little bit of ramp. Mana's a little sketchy, but Sanctum of Ugin does have some nice late game value. Load found for our opponent. Untapped. And Delver of Secrets. Well, Llanowar Ways. Yeah, kill the Delver. Pass. As we would like another colored land. All right, that kind of works. I guess we got to play it on black. All right, so we'll play Elvish Mystic. Land on black. So we are a bit away from Elder Deep-Fiend, but we can Mindbend at some point. Opponent considers. We also have 2 removal spells left in hand, which is nice. So we should be able to deal with the next 2 threats our opponent plays. Ether Hub, Ledger Shredder, Fading Hope. Well, okay, we will just Fatal Push the... Actually, let's let our opponent loot first. We don't want to give our opponent any more information than we have to, so let him loot first. And now we will just kill the Ledger Shredder. They bounce our elf. And they also get to Scry. I guess that combos with Delver. Fading Hope's actually pretty good. The Scry might not seem like a lot, but wow, it actually adds up. Opponent passes. Sanctum of Ugin. Well, play the land. Fierce Empath. Grab a Colossal Sky Turtle past the turn. So we can Mindbend next turn. Still would like to draw blue mana at some point. More Ledger Shredding and Ops. All right, well, now we got decisions. We might just have to kill the Ledger Shredder again. Ottawa. Well, if our opponent goes to 1 card in hand, then we probably just got a Mindbend. Oh my god, Treasure Cruise. Well, that's unfortunate. Opponent draws a new hand and passes. Well, play Sanctum of Ugin. Distended Mindbender. Sack Empath. Oh, it would have been so sweet if we could have got rid of... take another Mindbender. It would have been so sweet if we could have got rid of that Treasure Cruise before our opponent refueled. Fading Hope and Treasure Cruise. Leave our opponent with the Opt in the Dispute. All right, well, that was still decent. Still desperately need blue mana, but that was decent. Opponent untaps, opts. Well, maybe this Mindbender can win the race. We can kill the Ledger Shredder at some point. Opponent finds a Delver of Secrets to connive. Yeah, it's just solid looting over there. One into another, nonstop. Opponent discards a Clarion Spirit. The opponent's last card is a counter spell, I believe. All right, opponent gets in, hits us, sure. I think we might actually be in okay shape. Would still love to draw land, but I think we're in okay shape. Opponent passes. Mystic. Well, go to combat. Hit you with the Mindbender. Opponent takes it. Abrupt Decay the Ledger Shredder. Pass the turn. Well, the race is on. Delver versus Distended Mindbender. Unless our opponent finds something else. Opponent would love to draw land. Would love to draw land. All right, opponent does not flip the Delver. Draws Monastery Mentor. Very frightening. And hits us. Okay, come on, blue mana. Okay, there's blue mana. That's good. That's very good. Land on blue. Go to combat. Attack our opponent. Opponent takes it. How do we want to do this? Our opponent's last card's a counter. So, okay, I think what we do is Colossal Sky Turtle Bounce Mentor. I'm really worried about this Mentor. And then Distended Mindbender. Sack the Mindbender. Yeah, let's get a Elder Deep-Fiend for the future. Get rid of the Monastery Mentor. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Are we gonna get there? We're kind of picking them apart. Does it flip? I feel like our opponent must have a spell on top, but they're trying to decide if they want to reveal it or something. Not much else makes sense. Flips with an opt. All right, opponent opts. Wow, this has been a really close, really close game. To the bottom. And considers, all right, opponent's just turning through the deck, mills a Delver, goes to combat, hits us down to 7. All right, land and counter spell. We draw a land, so we go to combat, hit you with the Mindbender, down to 3. Play a land, Elvish Mystic, pass the turn. They got a top deck, or we actually got there. We emerged our way past Delvers and Ledger Shredders. We might have. Wow. Opponent goes to combat. I mean, I think we just take it, right? We take it. They don't have burn, sure. Down to 2. And then if they play a blocker, we can just bounce it. All right, I guess our opponent, needs to settle the wreckage. Tag with the Mindbender. I guess Fading Hope. If our opponent top deck Fading Hope, they live. Or Azorius Charm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, Abrupt Decay the Delver. We lose the Mindbender. Opponent untaps. Passing. Go to combat. Attack you. Down to 1. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Ops. Oh my goodness. Top. Considers. I'm worried about our opponent hitting Treasure Cruise. Treasure Cruise is the worst. Because then who knows? And a post comes it up. Oh, we got there. We emerge our way to victory. That was pretty good. That was actually pretty impressive. The late game value loops, our mana base, obviously, it's budget friendly. It adds up. It makes it a little bit risky. But that game, we had some mana troubles and we still were able to overcome with our merge value. Not bad at all. Although I will say, it might be worth, I'm really curious. I want your opinions, not that you can actually change this as we're playing. That's not the right deck. Where's the merge deck? I'm curious, Egg or Rejuvenator? I'm really split. I think Fierce Empath, that's number 1 for the deck, no doubt about it. Like that's we saw the power of it, especially now with their Sky Turtle too, and you can tutor up removals, you can tutor up Eternal Witness effects. That's insane. Egg has the upside of, I guess, being big and also being able to be sacrificed twice. Rejuvenator helps fix our mana, which we struggle with too. So give me your vote in the comments. I don't know. But I think those are interesting choices. But anyway, yeah, that worked. Good game. Sweet. Budget Magic time. We are emerging. Selfless Savior A. Does this mean we need to cast removal this turn? Probably. Yeah, I think we gotta... Yeah, play Pathway on black, pass the turn. I think we gotta leave up removal, because if we don't, there's a chance we just get kind of stacks. Like Selfless Savior into Thalia or something, and then we're not casting anything forever. Opponent gets and hits us. We need a 3-drop before we really go off anyway. Down to 19. Pathway. Down to Vanguard. Well, we will kill the Selfless Savior. Opponent passes. Well, yeah, Maya Coast and Elvish Mystic. Go. So probably going to be some pump spells, auras going on this Vanguard, I assume. Opponent. Elder Deep-Fiend to tap it down could be helpful at some point. Staggering Insight. And Ethereal Armor. Okay. Sure. Opponent gets in, hits us for 6. Yeah. Fair. And it's indestructible, or can be indestructible. Ugh. Okay, so I think we have to... Wow, this is awkward, but Fierce Empath. Get a Sky Turtle, which is actually kind of relevant here. Get Colossal Sky Turtle, play Opulent Palace, pass the turn. The Sky Turtle can potentially bounce the Vanguard and get rid of the auras. The question's gonna be, do we chump with the Fierce Empath, or do we try to keep it to emerge off of? I mean, they could also have some sort of protection, I guess. Goes to combat, gets in, Yeah, I think we gotta block. Unfortunately, I think we gotta block. Well, save a Sky Turtle. Opponent plays a land, tapped. Sram passes more Mindbenders. So, well, we gotta kill the Sram. Opponent has 2 cards, which could be things that protect their board. Opponent knows about the Sky Turtle as well, so it's not gonna get him by surprise. Oh, well, black-green. Abrupt Decay Sram. Green, green, black, black. All right, land on, I guess, blue past the turn. Well, the question's gonna be, oh, does this Sky Turtle actually work? Or does our opponent have protection? Opponent goes to combat. We gotta try it. Sky Turtle, discard, Vanguard. Okay, it worked. Well, the threats are dealt with for now. Opponent plays a land. Vanguard returns. We could really use a 3-drop. Elder Deep-Fiend. Play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I mean, I guess we can emerge if we sack the Mystic, which is probably worth it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Distended Mindbender. Sack the Dork. I don't think we want to sack the Sanctum of Ugin here, though. Actually, do we? Opponent's at 32. Nah, not yet. Distended Mindbender. Get rid of your last... Okay, it's a mana confluence. We got a blocker for the time being. It's a 5/5. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Opponent draws Griffspoon. Pretty good. And plays a mana confluence. Gets in, hits us. Yeah, it's going to be an issue. So opponent hits us down to 7. We draw more Deep-Fiends. Go to combat. Attack you. Opponent blocks, pays the life. Well, stop on our opponent's upkeep. Deep-Fiend. Sack the Mindbender. Tap, 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 tap. No sacrifice. We would like to find a way to get down multiple emerge threats. Just emerging one into another is not super great. Getting multiples on the battlefield would help us actually be able to close out this game. These Vanguards are not dying. We do not have the ability to kill it. Oh, flight pause, okay. Well, we draw land. Yeah, well, we need our opponent to whiff here. We need him to draw stone nothing. Opponent goes to combat, gets in. We're 1 land, I guess we're 2 lands away. Yeah, this isn't gonna work, is it? Opponent hits us. Yeah. Down to 3, opponent passes, Llanowar Elves. So we can play Llanowar, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, can't stop it. Yeah, Adano Vanguard's that's a good card. It's a good card. Good card against our deck, at least. So, well, Legion's End. Legion's End's good. Infernal Grasp, maybe. Actually, Noxious Grasp is probably even better. Whether or not this will be enough, it's still... indestructible, lots of protection. That's kind of the challenge. All right, I like that. You can see the deck. We need specific pieces. Like the emerge threats are great if we have a way to emerge them. That game, we had a lot of emerge threats, but we didn't have the empaths or the eggs or the rejuvenators. Nothing to emerge off of. And when that happens, oh, things are scary because we can get stuck with a bunch of expensive cards in hand, which is basically what happened that game. We managed to emerge 1 off a Mana Dork, but that's not ideal. Well, this hand's actually not the worst. Legion's End's actually a way to get rid of an Adanto Vanguard, which I like. We're nowhere near emerging anything, but we can actually defend ourselves at least a little bit with this hand, which is good. That's helpful. Well, Opulent Palace, go. Plains, and Elset of Life's Bounty. Well, we will... play the land, play Llanowar Elves, play an Elvish Mystic, pass the turn. We really want to save this for an indestructible threat. This is our one way to get rid of Adanto Vanguard forever. So I think we need to try to hang on to it until we can get that with it. Wow, opponent's getting in. Definitely blocking. Mana Dorks are not that essential to our plan. All right, opponent trades. And Sram. Well, yeah, 1, 2. Kill the Sram. Pathway on black. Rather than getting in for 1, we're gonna focus on leaving up our interaction here. Opponent. Hallowed Fountain. Untapped. Oh no. Oh, the tech. Is that a card people are actually playing now? I haven't played against Boggles in a while. Fiend Slayer Paladin. First strike, lifelink, 3 mana, 2/2. Can't be the target or red or black spells your opponents control. We can't kill it. Is it a card people are playing, or is this just sweet tech from our opponent? I mean, it's almost like protection. I think that was from the era when, yeah, I guess it is kind of a sideboard card for decks like this. Interesting. It makes sense. Like, if you're worried about black removal spells or red, like, it's not a real protection, but it's still very powerful. Adanto Vanguard. A lot of resilient threats from our opponent. And a cartouche. This is not looking great. Not looking great at all. Opponent passes. Fierce Empath. Well, 1 and 2. We will Legion's End, Adanto Vanguard. Thankfully. Ooh. It's a handful of good interaction. Fierce Empath, or good auras. Very good auras and protection. Well, Fierce Empath. We will take, does it even matter? I mean, it's probably got to be Sky Turtle. Although Sky Turtle's not guaranteed protection because our opponent has Slip out the back. We could have got a big emerge threat, but with our opponent's hand being what it is, I don't think emerging's gonna let us win here. We got to find a way around this Fiend Slayer. Fiend Slayer that is huge and with card draw and with protection. That's a combination of problematic things. All right, opponent draws a land. Staggering Insight goes to combat. Not going to play Ethereal Armor. Well, unfortunately, I think we got to block. Feels bad, because we need these 3-drops on the battlefield for emerging, but opponent passes. We go to 14. I'll play Elvish Mystic. I mean, I guess eventually we're just going to be able to hardcast our emerge threats past the turn. So we can blow up the Staggering Insight. And if our opponent phases out, then at least we're not getting hit this turn. All right, Staggering Insight down. 1, 2, 3, 4. If we draw a land, I guess we can just cast Colossal Sky Turtle. Unsure if casting a Colossal Sky Turtle is enough to win us this game, but maybe. Opponent, big attack, but we're going to take it down to 10. When it's up to 27, so much life gain. Opulent Palace. Well, okay. It's a tap land, so no turtle this turn. Pass the turn. About it. Another Staggering Insight. Well, I mean, we're gonna kill the Staggering Insight. If our opponent phases out, that's fine, because then we will just Sky Turtle and bounce it. So we're actually hoping they try to phase out and save this. I think that's all right. Opponent does not. Goes to combat. Hits us. Yeah, Fiend Slayer Paladin. Very impressive here. Down to 7, down to 6. Passes. Oh, we draw an egg. All right, well, egg time. Technically can block at the moment. Do some scrying. Looking for... Okay. Those are good cards. Sky Turtle Mindbender. Oh, put on top. Pass the turn. Can we stay alive? So opponent does need to do something to this Fiend Slayer Paladin, or else the egg can just block it. So it's actually super close. Mana Confluence. Opponent goes to combat. Opponent attacks. Well, we will block. Drop to 5. Opponent goes to 33. All right, we untap. Mindbender. Sack the egg. Take a peek. I mean, we're kind of in this. And opponent scoops it up? Okay, I guess we're very much in this. Opponent was at 33, not exactly sure. Wow, I thought that Fiend Slayer was gonna get us, but apparently not. How do we deal with these threats though? Indestructible, protection from our colors, or pseudo protection. How do we actually deal with these threats? I mean, I guess we just run it back. Run it back and hope for the best. We got him that game though somehow. I am surprised our opponent scooped there. I didn't feel like we were about to win the game. Now with our opponent at 33, like, we're stabilizing, but it was going to take us several to many turns to actually kill our opponent. And you never know, with a deck like that, you have Sram or Light Paws into an aura or two, and all of a sudden you snowball so hard. We're not going to complain. We're not going to complain. We will take our merge wins any way we can get them. Including our opponent scooping at 33 life. All right, opponent. What do you got? Can we keep this? We're on the draw. 1 land, Mana Dork, double removal, egg. Oh, you know what? We're doing it. We will go down with our 1 land, 1 keep. I think this hand gives us a shot. We gotta get a little lucky. Well, this is a tricky matchup. And in matchups that you're not super favored in, sometimes you just gotta take the riskier line and hope for the best. This is a hand that if we just draw a land, or especially 2 lands, I feel like it's a hand that can compete with our opponent. All right, well, Llanowar Ways and Llanowar Elves. There's land number 1. That's good. Because in theory, we can play the egg to scry into a land and then start emerging stuff. And the merge threats are pretty good, and we got removal to back it up. Opponent Plains. Adonto Vanguard, everyone's favorite. Infernal Grasp. Well, Opulent Palace. And pass the turn. Well, we'll see. We'll see what they can put on it. Opponent goes to combat. Opponent going to attack. We're going to take it. Down to 16. Oh god, another one, eh? Let's Noxious Grasp a Vanguard. I assume our opponent's paying 4. Yep. Well, come on, Legion's End. Sky Turtle. Well, okay, 1, 2, 3. We gotta get the egg down. We gotta scry for a land. Do we want both of these? Probably not the Palace. All right, bottom and top. I mean, this gives us a shot. This gives us a shot past the turn. Hopefully this turn's not too brutal. Opponent untaps. Mana Confluence. How many auras do they have? Goes to combat. I mean, we will block. Can we even block? I'm worried about Karametra's Blessing. The problem is if we block and they pump and they kill the egg, then we can't emerge next turn, or maybe ever. But if we take this damage, that's also pretty scary. So if we take it and lose the egg, we pretty much lose the game. We haven't seen Karametra's Blessing. The reason I'm thinking about it is I feel like this deck has Slip Out the Back now, and I don't think you can play an aura deck and have both. We're gonna block. I don't know if you can have enough auras and have Slip Out the Back and Karametra's Blessing. Fiendslayer Paladin. All right, let's do some emerging. Pass the turn. This gives us hope at least. We'll see. We'll see if this is enough to let us win. Opponent untaps. Goes to combat. Okay, well, 1, 2, 3, 4. Elder Deep-Fiend. Sack the egg. Tap, tap, tap. So tap you down, get a Deep-Fiend. Okay, the egg returns, we untap. Oh, Legion's End, oh my god, what a draw. What a draw. Go to combat, do some attacking. Opponent blocks, pays. Goes to 7. Legion's End, Adonto Vanguard. This is so close. We can see our opponent's hand, a bunch of Stroms, Light Paws, 1 all that glitters. I think we might have it. I think we might have it. I think we might have it. I think our friend Colossal Sky Turtle might come through. If our opponent tries to get in and gain a bunch of life, we get to Colossal Sky Turtle, bounce it, attack with everything with the game. If our opponent doesn't do that, that's okay. They just draw land. Oh, I think we're good. I think we're good. Sure. Play the Light Paws. Yes. And then they're going to cast the aura on the Fiendslayer. However, there's bad news for our opponent. We got a friend. We got a friend indeed in Colossal Sky Turtle. Pick him up and wow. Oh, that was so close, but we got there in the end. And I gotta say, Turtle Power's real. Turtle Power's real. The rest of the deck can be pretty explosive. That's such a scary matchup because their threats are so good against the removal we have, but manage to grind them out. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Budget magic time. We are doing some more emerging in Pioneer, and we're on the play this game. Also, my good camera's back. Hopefully I look a little better. Oh, all right, mana. Be good. Be good. Be good. Chingatha A. So sacrifice? And we'll try this. Gonna have to hit a couple lands. But if we hit a couple lands, we got egg into Mindbender, which is kind of sweet. Well, tap land, go. So I assume our opponent's like John Rakdos Saga. Usually Chingatha. Well, it could be Lotus Field combo. Okay. Spyabluff Canal. Well, that is 8 land. Yeah, Maya Coast. Go. I guess we need another black source, although egg helps, because egg can actually scry for the lands that we need. Opponent. Ledger Shredder. Pretty good. Well, play a land. Egg number 1. Scry for black mana. Llanowar bottom. Pathway definitely top. All right, well, I mean, we'll see. We can start Mindbending next turn, which is decent. But it does have a Ledger Shredder, which is frightening. Ooh, 2 Ledger Shredders, which is even more frightening. And then considers to double connive. All right. Well, Can our 8-drops beat Ledger Shredders? Perhaps no. Opponent discards a bunch of cards, gets in, hits us. Oh, discarded lands though, so at least the Shredders didn't grow. That's a bit of something. Well, land on black. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Distended Mindbender. Take a peek, flip the egg. Fiery Impulse, Strangle, Lofty Denial. So we only get to take 1 card. Ew. Yeah, let's take the counter. We get a 5/5. So what I'm assuming is going to happen is our opponent's going to throw multiple removal spells at probably the Mindbender. And then also Connive. Yeah, so opponent. Oh, the problem is if they hit Treasure Cruise, it's so bad for us. They can just cast it right away. So double Strangle, double Connive. Discards a land, discards the Impulse. Oh, they got Treasure Cruise, didn't they? Okay, Delver. Well, it's not a Treasure Cruise at least. And a land tapped. Opponent gets and hits us. Drawing a land here would actually be sweet. Land War. Well, go to combat. Hit you with the Serpent. So we can egg Llanowar, but then our opponent gets to double Connive, which is bad. So we probably can't cast 2 spells. We can egg, scry, pass. That sets up for another Mindbender next turn. We can just Mindbend off this Serpent, but then we lose the Serpent. We could pass and just bounce stuff with Sky Turtles, but that doesn't feel as good. Right now we're taking, what's the worst case? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, that is an unacceptably high amount of damage. Getting rid of our opponent's last card is appealing, but then we got a 5/5 versus a board full of Ledger Shredders and Delvers, and our opponent will still have good top decks. Would have been nice to draw a land, because then we could egg and Sky Turtle something. That's what we were hoping for. I don't know what the best play here is. If our opponent has Treasure Cruise, we get so wrecked. All right. Yeah, I think we just gotta do it, unfortunately. Mindbender number 2, take the Sprite Dragon. I mean, the other upside of this is hopefully it means our opponent's not going to be able to cast 2 spells and start conniving. If they ever hit Treasure Cruise, we're in sad shape. Delva of Secrets. Is it flipping? Oh, come on. Come on, Magic Gods. Come on, Magic Gods. No flipping of the Delvers. Yeah, Ledger Shredders. Oh, card's so good. So good. Opponent. All right. Does Delver flip? Flips with a Spell Pierce. So it didn't flip with anything that's especially good, but it did flip, which is more damage. Opponent gets in, hits us. That's a lot of damage. We draw land. All right, we draw the land. So I think we definitely play the egg. Do some scry. We're gonna need to find Elder Deep-Fiends. I think Elder Deep-Fiend is the solution to all of our issue. Fatal Push. All right, bottom. I mean, I guess we got to keep the Fatal Push. Fatal Push is good. Bottom and top. Go to combat. We don't have a way to sack the egg at the moment. Hit you with the Mindbend. I guess actually we can potentially eventually Sky Turtle back another Mindbender. Considers. Oh, really hoping they don't manage to connive here. That'd be bad for us. Mills Sprite Dragon? No. Okay. Into another Consider. Mills a land, or connives a land. Jeez. Discards Jengatha. Not looking good. I want to just see so many cards. They've seen 12 more cards than us just because of these Ledger Shredders. Oh, they found Treasure Cruise? Yeah. Well. Oh, Wizards. Wizards. Sure. So opponent, Ancestral Recall and Pioneer. Pretty good. Attacks with everything. Well, we will Sky Turtle a Ledger Shredder. Take our beats, hit ya. Yeah, I'm not feeling like we can get out of this now. Well, go to combat, hit you for 5. Opponent back up to 5 cards in hand. I'm glad Wizards banned Expressive Iteration, but I really don't understand why they want Treasure Cruise in the Pioneer format. It's a little bit above the curve power level wise. The whole 1-mana draw 3. Synergizes really well with a lot of the best cards in the format. I gotta disagree with Wizards on that one. Totally agree with Expressive Iteration being banned, but their reasoning of we love Treasure Cruise and we want it to be a big part of Pioneer. Whoo! Interesting logic from Wizards. Probably has Lightning Axe, I would guess. We're in some serious trouble. And Treasure Cruises often give more Treasure Cruises, or at least, tons of action. Opponent in the tank takes the damage. Kill the Ledger Shredder. Play the Llanowar Elves. Pass the turn. About it untaps. I think we need to top deck Elder Deep-Fiend. That would give us some hope. Sprite Dragon. Draws 3 more cards. Well, we knew they'd hit the Treasure Cruises eventually, and hit them they did. Opponent goes to combat, opponent attacks. So we can try to bounce a Delver, but I mean, we can bounce a Delver, but our opponent also now has 6 cards in hand. Sky Turtle the Delver. I mean, technically we have lethal on board. Practically. Seems incredibly unlikely to work out. Opponent's going to kill our Llanowar Elves, and grow their Sprite Dragon. I mean, if you got 6 cards in hand, you might as well use them. Opponent hits us down to 2. We untap, we draw nothing. Well, that was close. That was super, super close. We can put our opponent to 1, but unfortunately, Treasure Cruise gave our opponent all the action they needed. I mean, I guess we bring in Go Blanks. Legion's End. Go Blanks, Legion's End. We'll go down a Rejuvenator. We'll go down 2 Llanowars. And maybe one more, maybe one Sky Turtle. Let's try it like that. The dresses would be fine, but we just don't have that much room. Yeah, let's try it like that. So a bit of discard, a little bit more removal. I mean, the Go Blank's other upside is they can exile the graveyard, which hopefully maybe means we won't just get Treasure Cruised into oblivion. That is the concern. Well, we'll keep this. Our mana is painful like usual, but we have most of our colors, which is good. Elvish Mystic, go. Some matchups, the pain lands are not especially painful. Other matchups, they're very painful. Well, you have my coast, and let's get our egg down. Bottom end, we'll top the Palace. Palace, it means we're not doing anything super great next turn, but it also means, please don't flip. No. No Delver luck. Blind flip. Opponent ups. Well, that's unfortunate. Wow, did they keep 1 land Delver and then just blind flip? Oh my god. Okay. Well, we're drawing a tap land. We'll play the tap land. We will Fatal Push the Delver. And now we just need our emerge threats. That is the thing we're missing here. We got the colors. We got the egg to sacrifice. We'll take either one. Deep-Fiend or Mindbender. Does not matter. Either one is going to be fine. It would be nice to punish our opponent for keeping the 1 lander, but right now our clock is not that considerable. Mills a Ledger Shredder. All right, opponent hits a land, plays even more Delvers, and emerge threat off the top. All right, well, egg is okay. Egg lets us scry for something at least. Egg number 2. All right, bottom and top. We definitely want the Deep-Fiend. This isn't that bad. So we can kill the Delver if it flips. And then we can Deep-Fiend. All right, opponent flips with a Consider. So we are gonna have to kill the Delver, and it is gonna cost us 2 life. I guess we should have tapped slightly differently. Yeah, we caused ourselves a life for the tapping. Opponent going to Consider. A little worried about Treasure Cruise, but if we can keep our opponent completely tapped down, opponent goes to combat. Ouch, ouch, and Abrupt Decay you. So we dropped to 12. Treasure Cruise already. Yeah, that's a Treasure Cruise already. And a land, and another Delver. Yeah, I'm starting to think that Treasure Cruise is perhaps a problem in this format. We'll get in with the Elvish Mystic. Opponent takes it. Stop on your upkeep. Does the Delver flip? No, for once. We will Elder Deep-Fiend, see if it gets countered. Sack the egg. Tap, 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 tap. Sanctum of Ugin, going to get us another Deep-Fiend. So the egg returns. Opponent gets tapped down. Opponent opts. This does mean we need to, if our opponent kills the Mystic, we do need a land to be able to emerge. All right, so we tap him down. We get a Deep-Fiend. About it. We might have a shot here though. Another Deep-Fiend's pretty good. Steam Vents. Tapped. All right, that's what we wanted to see, because now the egg comes back. We could hit our opponent for 9. And a Mindbender. Well, go to combat, hit ya for 9, and do it one more time. So opponent goes to 9, stop on our opponent's upkeep, see if the Delver flips. We should be good, right? Even if our opponent counters, it's a cast trigger. So we still get to, and opponent scoops it up. We still get to tap our opponent down. Wow, okay, we got there through the cruising. I wonder if there's a way we can play Treasure Cruise in this deck. Is there any possibility? Well, that went pretty good. Like, the good draws with this deck are very strong. 2 or 3 Elder Deep-Fiends in a row is really tough for a lot of decks to keep up with. This hand's interesting. Think we got a mulligan it? 1 land, Mystic dies to everything. Yeah. Ooh, okay. Hopefully we draw an egg, really. Something to emerge off of is what we need the most. Opponent aggressively mulliganing. A mana dork would be interesting. With our opponent mulliganing, turn 2 go blank would be really strong. Here's Empath. Well, we will accept that. Land on black. Go. Fierce Empath is something we can potentially emerge off of. Opponent untaps. Steam Vents and Ledger Shredder, I'm sure. Yes, indeed. Removal? Yavimaya Coast. Play Yavimaya Coast past the turn. Oh, we'll see. Opponent untaps. Gets and hits us. Down to 19. More. Oh my goodness. Legion's End would be so good. More Ledger Shredding. Now land on blue. Fierce Empath. Get a Sky Turtle. We already have 2 Deep-Fiends, and if our opponent kills an Empath, we won't be able to emerge. So I feel like Sky Turtle's just safer here. Opponent land untapped. Legion's End would make me incredibly happy. Fiery Impulse. All right. Well, opponent's gonna do something. What a ridiculous 5-card hand. Opponent discards everything, but grows a huge. We need to find that Legion's End. Legion's End probably wins us the game, but it's just a one of. So we're asking for some real luck. Opulent Palace. I mean, I think we just gotta go blank. Get our opponent out of cards for now. Unclear if this will be enough, though. Play the Palace. We're taking 5. Come on, Legion's End. Come on, Legion's End. Come on, Legion's End. Opponent goes to combat. Hits us for 5. Down to 8. That's not a lot of life. Not a lot. Okay, gets Jingatha. Plays a land. Sanctum of Ugin. So, well, play Sanctum of Ugin. Pass the turn. How did our opponent draw 3? Their hand was what? 2 lands and 3 Ledger Shredders is what they kept. What are the chances? Well, okay, so we got a Sky Turtle, one of the bigger Ledger Shredders. We're still in a super bad spot, though. Opponent hits us. Down to 5. Draws even more lands. Gets to play Jingatha. And I think that means we're dead. Elvish Mystic. 1. Yeah, not enough to emerge. Oh, so close. Budget magic time. We are emerging in Pioneer this week. And gonna need some blue manas. Hopefully Rejuvenator can find us some. But we do need double blue for this Elder Deep-Fiend. Well, Llanowar Waste, go. See what our opponent's up to. Watery Grave. And passes. Well, Forest, go. And considers. Okay. So some sort of spell slingery deck. Opponent. Mana Confluence. We have plenty of things to emerge off of. Tagim Scheming. Okay, so this is just probably Velomachus combo. That was a deck that rose up for a minute and then disappeared. It's gotta be some sort of Velomachus combo deck. Opponent's gonna mill a bunch of cards. So we get to rejuvenate. Would love to draw blue source here. Opponent passes. I mean, we could get comboed next turn. Well, that's not a blue source. Pathway on black. Run out Rejuvenator. Go diggin'. All right, so we hit a blue source, which is good. That's blue source number 1. We still need one more for this Elder Deep-Fiend, and we still need to remain alive. Our opponent could Delve Threat, Neoform, Velomachus, infinite turns, win. Another scheming. Okay. Come on, blue mana. So there's a good chance our opponent's going to be set up to win next turn. So what we really need is to draw that blue source. What would be really good is Distended Mindbender, but we can't quite play it and emerge it yet. Opponent. All right, so here comes a Delve Threat. So opponent's setting up to combo next turn, most likely. Saltite Scavenger. So that can be neoformed into Velomachus. Blue mana would be fine as well. Rejuvenator. Play the land. Play Rejuvenator. Oh, these pathways are so bad. The Llanowar Elves. Go. One thing I noticed playing this deck is we really need wizards to reprint some Pioneer lands. That would be so helpful for budget decks. Wow, they're not going for it yet. Okay, an opponent gets and hits us. Well, now we have enough mana that we can actually Fierce Empath and... Oh, or we draw blue mana. That's also good. Okay, so, well, now we got options. We have many options. The question is, how do we want to do this? We can Elder Deep-Fiend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I guess we can just hardcast Elder Deep-Fiend. That's probably our first bet. Go to combat, attack ya, hit ya for 2. I mean, one way around the colored mana in Elder Deep-Fiend's cost is just to hardcast it for 8. Opponent considers. Mills Otherworldly Gaze. Otherworldly Gaze. Become Immense. Interesting. I haven't seen Become Immense in this deck. Opponent untaps, upkeep, 8 mana, hardcast Elder Deep-Fiend, tap all your lands, get another Elder Deep-Fiend. Your go. Are we attacking? Yeah. Opponent sticking with the plan, Scavenges it for 3. Down to 13. Has a land. Gotta be another Delve threat, right? Tessaga. Well, we untap. Hit you with the Elder Deep-Fiend. Opponent going to take it. The question is, how do we manage this Elder Deep-Fiend now? That is the question. 1, 2, 3. Fierce Empath. I'm wondering if it's better to get a Mindbender and do a hand check. Yeah, take a Mindbender. Land on black. Sack the Deep-Fiend. Mindbend. So what I'm worried about, wow, okay. Velomachus in hand. They can't cast it though. Okay, so we'll just take the Karn's Temporal Sundering. And now we'll just pass. I think this is gonna work. So I was worried about our opponent just hard casting extra turn spells. So we just sit back. Opponent can have their mana this turn. Velomachus does nothing. And then end step, we tap down some stuff and the blockers and then just win. Opponent gets in, hits us. We will take it. Contingency plan. Okay, that does it. We got there. Well, this matchup's scary because you never know when a big Velomachus is going to come down and just wreck ya. But we managed to navigate it, sort of, kind of. So opponent, gonna mill some stuff. I mean, none of this really matters though, because we just get to... We know our opponent's hand. It's just a Velomachus, so we just Elder Deep-Fiend, sack the Mindbender, tap, 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 tap. And that clears the way for the dorks to get the job done. Untap, and opponent scoops it up. Oh, okay. Well, that was good. Velomachus combo is one of the scarier decks in the format because it can be just so fast. How do we want to fight it is the question. Our entire sideboard almost seems good. Scavenging Ooze, good. Go blanks, good. Noxious Grasps, good. Infernal Grasp, good. Duress, good. I guess the cards that are bad are Abrupt Decays are bad, Fatal Pushes are bad, so we get to go down those for sure. Sky Turtle's actually pretty good because it can bounce Velomachus. I actually don't even know if Ooze is worth it. Maybe it's not. It might not be. Let's see if we can pull up a Velomachus list. I'm trying to remember. Maybe we can just find R. Let's see if we can find our Velomachus list. It's been a while since we've played it, so this build's a little different. They have some different dredge creatures, but the idea is the same. Is just exiling stuff from the graveyard worth slots? That's the real question. So I guess Invoke Calamity potentially could be a thing, but it's not castable. Yeah, I don't think we actually Scavenging Ooze. I think we let our opponent fill their graveyard and then just try to deal with the threats. We probably got to go down like 2 mana dorks. Duress, go blank. I guess one more Rejuvenator. Yeah, let's try it like that. All right, well, we get more interaction. Yeah, it's weird. Graveyard Hate, it seems good because the opponent's so active trying to fill their graveyard, but really they're just trying to fill it to delve cards away. And Scavenging Ooze, it's good at sniping specific threats, but as far as just being like, I'm gonna undo your Tigum scheming, that's a lot of mana. That's a lot of mana. Not very good at that. Well, opponent's on the play, trying to Velomachus us. I really like the Sky Turtle in this matchup. Oh, okay. Well, if our opponent has the absolute dream draw, they could be fast enough to beat us. Our question is going to be, do we play the the Mystic on 1. Watery Grave. Because our big answer is to go blank. We're going to play this, Elvish Mystic, go. So if we draw an untapped black source, we can go blank right away. We would like some removal. Removal would be nice. Sky Turtle, anything that can deal with the Velomachus is huge. Opponent, gonna fill the graveyard. The Velomachus deck can win on turn 3. With its best draw, it can win on turn 3. A Duress? Well, I guess a Duress isn't very good here because we don't have black mana. Botanical Sanctum, opponent going to pass. Well, play the tap land. Play an Elvish Mystic, get in with Elvish Mystic, and hope that we aren't dead yet. Basically, we gotta go blank for next turn. About it. So like an Otherworldly Gaze. Oh, they consider, okay. Well, this is good. I think this, well, we'll see. This makes it less likely they can win, unless they have something else here. Okay, they don't, because they're card short, so they can't win this turn. Breeding Pool, tapped. All right, we draw. Oh, Sky Turtle, Sky Turtle. That is huge. That is huge, that is huge, that is huge. So play the land. Go blank you. Get rid of the graveyard. Get rid of some cards in hand. We're just gonna pass. Because Sky Turtle can bounce Velomachus, which is big. Watery Grave for our opponent tapped. We still need a black source at some point. Well, there's a black source. How greedy are we is the real question. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, is it worth tapping down or tapping out, or do we wait a turn? It's hard for us to lose if we don't tap down. 1, 2, 3, Fierce Empath goes digging for probably the Deep-Fiend. Go to combat, hit you with the Mystic. Yeah, if we just try to make sure that we're leaving up this Sky Turtle, then Velomachus is not actually a super big concern. It needs to attack. It's not an ETB trigger. Opponent. Contingency plan. All right, so they could get a big delve threat down. It is possible. But next turn, we get to start doing things, and we get to start doing them while leaving up Sky Turtle's actually like legit in this deck. Sky Turtle's a card that it's kind of blown me away just how good it is in various formats, but it's like legitimately really, really good. In this deck, we can tutor it with Fierce Empath, which makes it doubly good, and it's got other synergies like getting our stuff back from the graveyard, mana confluence for our opponent, and are we delving? Tessiga. So we are delving. Opponent passes. Yavimaya Coast. So opponent's got a single card in hand. So I think we, 1, 2, actually let's play this. Let's play Sanctum of Ugin. 1, 2, 4. Mindbender. Sack the Empath. Sanctum of Ugin. Get an Elder Deep-Fiend. Do the hand check just to make sure. All right. Get rid of the Scavenger. Pass the turn. I mean, we should be good. Now we can Deep-Fiend for the next couple of turns. A 3-drop would be sweet. A 3-drop that we could emerge off of. Opponent. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, activates Tasigur. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can have a Velomachus, that's fine. Sometimes these decks only have 2 Velomachuses, which might be an issue for our opponent in their combo. Well, go to combat. Hit you with the Mindbender. We might be good. We might be good. Opponent down to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Play Elvish Mystic. Pass the turn. Opponent untaps. So we're planning on winning in 2 turns is the goal. Safely winning in 2 turns. Opponent. Taigam scheming. Sure. We do gotta be careful. We don't wanna, the one way we lose is by being too greedy and like hard casting a Deep-Fiend and our opponent still having mana to Neoform a Tasigur and then just comboing off if we tap out. So that's the one thing we gotta be careful about. Opponent passing, well, okay. And opponent scoops it up, and oh, that was a good one. When everything comes together, the merge plan's not bad. The merge plan's actually pretty good. Oh, that felt nice. That felt nice. It's always nice to beat the combo deck, because you just never know. Like, we could have died on turn 3, but we managed to just kind of tempo them out, do our thing, and it was good enough. Sky Turtle power. Sneaky all-star Colossus Sky Turtle. Well, sweet. Budget magic time. We are emerging in Pioneer this week, and this hand's fine. It's fine. No emerge threats. We would like to find something to emerge, but we do get to scry with our sneakily powerful egg here. Control A. Well, we will see. There's another egg. Well, land on green and land where else? Go. All right. Opponent, tap land and passes. Well, land on blue and egg. Bottom and top. Mindbender would be great. We do need one more turn before we can cast it, unfortunately. Opponent. Wow, passing, okay. Well, in that case, we will play a land on black, play an egg, keep on scrying, Fierce Empath. Well, we don't need more black mana, so put that to the bottom. I mean, I guess we keep Empath. Empath can... Is there a way we get blown out by attacking here? Hopefully not. 2 mana. There's no way they're playing like... We're just going to attack. I don't think there's any 2 mana flash creatures they'd be playing in Esper. All right, opponent goes to 19. Frantic inventory to draw a card, sure. Well, hopefully this Mindbender's good. It's going to add a lot of power because it also flips the egg. Frantic inventory. Opponent's drawing cards for days. Still whiffing on lands. Oh, goodness. Discarding the hand size. Opponent's getting a tiny bit unlucky, I think. Discards Wandering Emperor. Well, let's play this pathway. 1, 2, 3, 4. Distended Mindbender. Sack the egg. Target you. The egg's gonna flip. Double extinction event? That's awkward. Well, we need the extinction event to not be a thing. So we will get rid of, let's see, fatal push and extinction event. Go to combat, hit ya. Okay, opponent goes to 18. So opponent has a handful of counters. The egg comes back, but our opponent doesn't really have the luxury of just sitting back because we have a pretty fast clock. Opponent finds a tap land and passes. I'll go to combat, hit you with these 2. Opponent down to 9. Fierce Empath. Elder Deep-Fiend. Play the tap land, pass the turn. So if our opponent goes land in Wraths, I think we're fine. I guess they could Wrath odds. And opponent, okay, scoops it up. We got there. Well, opponent did fumble around a little bit and probably get a smidge unlucky, but we had enough pressure to take advantage of it. All right, so we're going down the creature removal. Going up the discard. Let's go down Sky Turtle. Run it like that. Well, the discard should be helpful. And we got to see a pretty good draw there. Like, the deck felt good. It felt good. It's an emerging threat to the Pioneer format. Opponent. Well, you know what? We're going to keep this. Double Go Blank could be helpful. We would like to draw something cheap to emerge off of, but Go Blanks are good against control. One of our best sideboard cards. Opponent, Field of Ruin. All right, another Elder Deep-Fiend. So we're doing it the slow way. Gonna draw a card and tap land. Pathway A. Well, play the land, and yeah, I mean, we're gonna cast a Go Blank. If it gets countered, it gets countered, but we got to do something here. That's the worst way for it to get countered. All right, opponent has a Censor. That is bad news. Opponent untaps. Well, I wish they had to use a real counter at least. Opponent passing. Well, there's a Llanowar. Blue, black. We'll just play this on black. All right, 1, 2, 3. Let's try this again, Go Blank. I don't know if just one of them is going to be enough. It's helpful, but our opponent still got 3 cards in hand. If we could have got rid of all of them. Fatal push in, land discarded. We'll play a Llanowar. I assume our opponent's Wandering Emperoring here. Yep. All right. Well, now we got to fight through the Wandering Emperor. Makes a dork. It's possible this Deep-Fiend could help. Opponent ticks up. Question's going to be, does it actually resolve? That's always a question against these decks. Opponent gets and hits us. Another discard spell would actually be fine. An egg A. Play the land. 1, 2, 3. Play an egg. Do some scrying. Bottom and yeah, we'll keep the Sky Turtle. I mean, I kind of sort of like where we're at now. Extinction event. That is a pretty huge blowout. Pretty huge. We're going to be able to get our opponent out of cards, but I don't know if we can beat what they have on the battlefield. We can Sky Turtle, get back Go Blank, get rid of the rest of our opponent's hand, but I don't know if that's enough here. Play a land, Sky Turtle, get back Go Blank, get rid of your hand. However, opponent managed to stick a threat. Wow, double farewell, golly gee. They managed to stick a threat. We haven't managed to do anything. Opponent land. Wandering Emperor can win the game by itself. We're seeing that in practice here. We really need to find a way to get down Elder Deep-Fiends, but they're a lot of mana if you can't emerge them. Like that's the problem. That sweeper got us. Oh, they have so many sweepers, and they exile even. Going to kill our Sanctum of Ugin. Sure, we'll get a forest. Come on, deck. Colossal Sky Turtle. The other issue we have is our painful mana base. Yeah. So I think, as brutal as this is, and I don't know if this leaves us in a position where we can possibly win, but I guess we got a Sky Turtle bounce a samurai, which feels so bad, but I think that's our only real choice here. Because our mana base, we're getting so low on life that we're not going to be able to tap blue mana to emerge a Deep-Fiend anyway. Opponent hits us, makes another token, dead on board, we top deck, Rejuvenator. Oh, if this put the land into play untapped, it would have been good. We would have actually had a shot. But since it's tapped, there's the egg. Yeah, we're just, well, we'll pass. I mean, I guess we're not literally dead. We could draw an untapped land and just try to hardcast Deep-Fiends. Oh no, opponent has more. Memory Deluge, interesting. Memory Deluge over Dig Through Time and Test Your Cruise. Opponent, yeah, refuels, and yeah, this one's very likely over at this point. Look at all those wraths though. Look at all those wraths. And opponent has wow, that is a horrible card against our deck, but we're playing a whole bunch of colorless things. Why are you Vanishing Versing? What does Vanishing Verse kill? Elvish Mystic. I guess it kills Egg. It doesn't kill any of our payoffs though. Well, I'm glad that's in our opponent's deck. All right, run it back. So I think we need to get off to a little bit more aggressive of a start maybe. We had all the discard, but we couldn't get rid of every single card. Blue-Eye Control has creatures that can go all the way. We also saw a ton of Wraths, which are a bit of a concern, I will admit. All right, we get to play first. Well, I don't think we can keep 5 lands, a Duress, and a Elvish Mystic. All right, this will keep. We're gonna put what to the bottom? Probably Deep-Fiend. I think our plan is, so this needs to go on black, this needs to go on blue. All right, turn one Elvish Mystic. Turn 2 Rejuvenator, turn 3 Mindbender is the plan. Drown Catacombs. Well, play this on blue. Rejuvenate. Oh, that is unlucky. That actually might cost us the game here. Because now our opponent can counter. Wow. Because now they can counter this Mindbender. We still have to do it, but now Censor counters it. That is so unlikely. Get in with the Rejuvenator. We might have to pull up the math. I'm actually super curious how unlucky that was. You know what, before we cast it, we gotta see. It's been a minute since we've calculated. How likely are we to hit with a Elvish Rejuvenator? 60 cards in the deck, 24 lands. We get to see 5. We need to see 1. How often does it whiff? 7%. So 93%, we get at least 1. Ugh. Yeah, well, sometimes you're in the 7%. We can't not cast this. We gotta do it, but this is so much worse since our opponent can counter it now. Oh, okay. Frantic Inventory. So it's gonna resolve. Opponent. Wow, that is a hand. That is a hand. So we're gonna take Void Rend. And we're going to take Wandering Emperor's bad for us. Extinction Event's bad for us. Which is worse? We'll take Void Rend. This is a very good hand of magic cards. I mean, I guess we have to take Extinction Event, although I'm not feeling super confident. Oh, okay. Another Mindbender would be good. We would accept another Mindbender. Opponent. Fatal pushes our Mana Dork. Plays a tap land. Would also accept just our opponent not drawing lands for a couple turns. Ooh, Fierce Empath. All right, play the land. Fierce Empath is good. Fierce Empath goes digging. Mindbender. Llanowar Elves. Hit you for 5. So our opponent can flash in Wandering Emperor and exile the Mindbender. If they do that, though, we get to kill the Wandering Emperor at least. And they also do need to draw a land. If our opponent doesn't hit a land, Frantic Inventory, okay. Okay, things are looking up. Opponent gets to draw 2. Watery Grave tapped. Oh, wow. Okay, this is very good for us, opponent. Fatal push the Llanowar Elves. Sure. We get to untap another Mindbender. We'll go to combat. Hit ya. Yeah, down to 8. Mindbend ya and hope that this saves us. Or wins us the game, really, not even saves us. They need 2 answers in hand. All right, so we take the Absorb, and we take the Wandering Emperor. Memory Deluge is too slow because our opponent's dead on board. So opponent's got a top deck. They have to top deck something like Extinction Event right now. Holy mother. Well, okay, now our opponent wins. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, we were 100. Oh, not 100%, but we were like 90% to win that game right then. Oh. Yeah, I mean, we're going to be conceding here shortly. The Teferi is going to come down. Our opponent draws all the cards. And yeah, that does it. That does it. I'm mostly sad because Control like just feasts on random budget decks. That's kind of their whole gimmick. Like they just punish you for trying to do fun things. We got ourselves in a position with our janky budget cards to be very, very in favor of winning that match, and Magic Gods gave us the no sir, and now we are going to lose for sure. Opponent had one turn, and now a dirty Teferi, and I mean, we'll draw one more card and then we'll concede. Well, I guess the good news is we definitely showed that our deck could compete with, you know, the top tier Esper control deck of the format. From that position, like we win 90% plus percent of the time. Like we're very, very likely to win. But at this point, we are 0% to win. Oh, Magic Gods. Brutal. Well, I mean, I guess the takeaway is our deck showed that on a $90 budget or whatever, we definitely can compete with, you know, the most expensive top tier is control deck in the format, although I really wish they didn't top deck that Wrath. And they had one turn. They had one exact turn to top deck the Wrath, and they hit it in that one exact turn. Fair enough. Ouch. So what do we learn this week about Sultai Emerge in Pioneer? And record-wise, overall, a little bit clunky. We ended up going 3 and 4 in total with the deck, which I like to be at least 50% win rate. However, there are exceptions to that rule. And if you watch our matches with this deck, good lord, were all of them super close. The one that really stings was a blue-white control match where we had our opponent dead on board. We had seen their hand. We knew they didn't have an answer. All we had to do was untap and attack. And their one draw was a Wrath to kill both of our merge creatures. And then they played Teferis and stuff and took over the game. So that one really stung because we were like 90%. If you actually math out their odds of drawing a Wrath there, it was pretty slim. So that one really was painful. But even a lot of our other games were really close. In the deck, it felt powerful. Like when it does its thing, it felt good enough to beat most of the decks in the format. Maybe not all of them. Some of the combo decks can be tough unless we hit the right sideboard cards. But in general, the deck felt really good. By far the biggest issue we had with the deck, and this is something that I'm hoping Wizards fixes in the near future, is just the mana base. So the mana base in Pioneer on a budget, if you're playing 2 colors, it's pretty fine. Once you get into 3 colors, though, that's where things get really sketchy. So we have a functional-ish mana base, I would say. We do have a lot of strict color requirements. We need green on turn 1 to play our mana dorks, but then we need double blue and double black for Distended Mindbender and Elder Deep-Fiend. So there is a big pinch on colored mana there. The biggest issue with our lands is, even though many of them come into play untapped, they got pretty big downsides. Like, our pain lands are fine, but we also saw there be some games against like aggressive decks where once we get to the late game, we kind of can't tap our lands for colored mana because we're so low on life. And then the pathways are not ideal for this deck. In 3 color decks, pathways are pretty clunky, especially a deck like this. We don't want to have to choose between green for a Land of Werewolves on turn 1, in blue for an Elder Deep-Fiend a couple turns later, or black for a Distended Mindbender. We really want both. The problem is every other land cycle that comes into play untapped most of the time is super expensive. Shock lands, fast lands, they're just way too much money. So that left us with mana that was a little bit of a problem. Some of our losses just came from not not having the right colors of mana at the right time. Part of it's self-inflicted too. We do have the Sanctum of Ugins, which I think are necessary. They're so good once we start to chain together our merge threads, but we are playing some colorless lands, so that's on us. But I do wish we would get another cycle of decent budget-friendly dual lands for the format, or fast lands reprinted, more shock land reprints, something to bring the prices of those cards down, because a lot of those cards are up in the like $20 a piece range, and there's just no way you can play a playset of those in a $100 deck, let alone like 2 playsets or 3 playsets, which would be ideal. So I hope the mana improves, but overall, the deck's sweet, it's fun, it works in a unique way, it's powerful enough to keep up with a lot of decks. It does have some consistency issues with the mana, but I really like this deck, and I think with improved mana, I don't know, maybe it could be an even better option for Pioneer. But that is Sultai Emerge. That's been our budget magic for this week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.